Really, really proud of our entire program. Post lost Indiana last Saturday, really challenged our group that we didn't have time to hang our head or sulk around. Had to turn the page, had to get back to work on Sunday. Had our best practice of the year on Monday, and that just really set the tone for the rest of the week. Proud of the way that our guys stayed the course and found a way to win a game. Tapping into all three phases of the game. The turnover margin was huge, especially against a team that had been really successful in that area. Excited to, get home back to Evanston tonight. With a win on the road at 3-3, and turning the pages to Wisconsin for our last opportunity to be on the lakefront. Excited for Wildside to show up. Excited for our fans to show up and create a home field advantage for us. One last opportunity on the lakefront. Really good Badger team, and we need to find ways to build off of this game. I think this was an opportunity for our team to see who we can truly be when we put all three phases together.
Coach, in your about, I think it's 18 games you've been here, your largest Big Ten win before this was 14 points. A lot of games have been tightly contested, especially on the road. Coming off two tough losses, did you see 37-10 in the cards?
No. But what we'll always pride ourselves on is finding ways to win games in the fourth quarter, winning the margins. This league is becoming even more and more contested, and there's a lot of parity in this league. This game's an outlier. Maryland's a really good football team. We knew that they were going to find a way to catch their wind and get back in the game, and we were going to have to continue to battle. But it is a credit of things, the way things can snowball in a positive way when you can start to create some takeaways. You get a defensive touchdown, and then your pass rushers up front really get to pin their ears back and get after it. Really excited to see the return of Carmine Bastone and the impact he had, and to see a young Damon Walters have his first career interception is really exciting.
As you just mentioned, coming into this game, Maryland led all power conference teams in turnover margin. Tonight, the Terps didn't have any. Will you guys force 4 turnovers plus 3 turnovers on downs? What do you have to say about your special teams unit tonight?
Gosh, I mean, really excited about the turnover margin. Really proud of the way that our offense valued the football. We have that initial fumble on the kickoff return, but then Grayson Metz makes an incredible play on kickoff, punches at the ball, gets it out, and just continued to find ways to attack the football. Really, really excited for Luke Akers tonight. Guys, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a guy kick off and do it at the level he did, scoring points the way that he did. That extra point is the first place kick, points he's scored in his college career, and then to have the efficiency did, from different ranges and field goals, and the way that he punted the ball tonight. So excited for that young man to continue to build off of that.
Okay. Coach, with all the work that you've seen Carmine put in his recovery, what did it mean to you to not only see him get back out there tonight, but get that strip sack? That was a really pivotal play in tonight's game.
That was really emotional. I mean, it was really emotional for Carmine. It was really emotional for his teammates, our coaching staff. He got voted a captain for a reason. It was really hard for us to see him on the sideline. It was hard for him. That guy battled his butt off to get back. It's a credit to everyone in our ATR staff, strength and conditioning, getting that young man back to a point where not only was he able to be cleared and ready for play, but he was cleared and showing up and playing at that level. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was an emotional moment on the sideline to see him come up big in that moment.
Coach, this is 2 consecutive games where you haven't turned over the ball. How much do you credit that to the ability of your offensive line to protect Jack in the pocket?
Yeah, I've said it before, but I'll continue to say it. I think that group just continues to trend in the right direction. I think that group's also incredibly aware that there's a lot of work left to do, but they just continue to improve, and depth continues to show up, and Jack's doing a good job of processing, being timely with the football when he makes a decision to scramble. It's a decisive decision. And, a credit to Jack and the rest of the entire offense. I mean, we talk about value in the football. This has to be a part of our formula. Part of our formula for winning is winning in the turnover margin, and we did that in a big way tonight, and it showed up on the scoreboard. I mean, I haven't seen the final numbers in terms of yards and plays, but, I mean, I promise you if this game was judged by yardage, it wouldn't have been a good day for the Cats. But we won in the turnover margin and played in all 3 phases and had exactly the result we were looking for.
After a tough game against Indiana, what kind of strides did you see your secondary make, especially late in the game tonight?
Yeah, no, I mean, credit to Tim McGargle and Harlan Barnett, LaMarcus Hicks. We just had to really self-reflect and identify the areas that maybe we weren't putting our guys in the best situations. It was those aren't easy conversations, but, you've heard me say this before. We have a staff that checks their ego at the door. They're willing to have hard conversations with one another to get to the right answer. And there was a lot of that on Sunday, but in a positive way. And a credit to our coaching staff, a credit to our players. I think a lot of things that we need to get fixed, we were able to start addressing. And to see not only the production out of that group in the back end against a high-quality passing attack, but to see some of the depth that had to show up with Rob Fitzgerald and Damon Walters. Garner Wallace making that incredible play in the back of the end zone at the end of the game. Pretty exciting.
Couple more. Zach?
Coach, you had success with the deep pass early in the game. Jack connected on 2 of those long passes, one each to Bryce and AJ. Then things kind of stalled out a little bit in the second and third quarter before then opening it right back up with the deep pass again in the fourth quarter. What kind of changed during the middle part of that game there that kind of led to that slowdown?
To be honest with you, and I'm not trying to point fingers, but like in a lot of ways, it comes back to complementary football. Like you got an offense that's in rhythm and in sync, and there's a couple drives that show up in that second and third quarter, specifically the one that started on the -1 yard line and went all the way down the field, where Maryland is just staying on the field. Now, we were able to limit their explosive plays, but we weren't able to get off the field. And there's nothing worse for a offense that's in rhythm and showing a lot of strides than to keep them off the field for a long period of time. And then we just weren't able to reignite that initially, but really excited to see Jack come back. He has a really nice throw on a third down to AJ that AJ would love to have back, and then the deep shot to Bryce Kirtz. The strides that Jack Lausch has taken is something that I couldn't be more excited about.
Last one. Matt?
Talk about managing risk a lot. Late in the second quarter, threw an incomplete pass in second 11, which allowed Maryland to have another possession. Is there any conversation between you and Coach Lujan about that?
There was. Run the football. We need to do a better job of communicating with Jack that he needs to hand that off. He has an RPO option. It's a run play. It's a run frame. Based on the look that he got in the box, he made the right decision based on the install of that play. But he should never make that decision in that case. We need to do a better job of communicating with Jack of our intent to hand that ball off and make sure, regardless of the outcome of the play, that we keep the clock running.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.
We're going to go right into questions for Bryce and Jack. Please direct your question to one of them. We only got one mic, so they're going to pass it around and raise your hand to get my attention.
Bryce, it's your second straight 100-yard day after the first time. First 2 games when Jack was quarterback, you only had 20 yards. Now you have 200 plus in the last 2. What started clicking for you guys?
I think just me and Jack at practice. We just do a lot of communicating, and especially these past 2 weeks, we've done a lot of communicating, and I think that's translated to the games. The offense, they've also emphasized getting the ball to me and AJ, so I think they're doing a really good job of that, and then Jack's just doing a really good job of taking care of it and doing just that. So.
Jack, at the time the defense scored that fumble recovery for a touchdown, you guys hadn't had a first down since, I believe, the 12-minute mark of the second quarter. Just how key was the defense's performance tonight, you guys coming out with that victory?
That was awesome, and those guys had a great game. They worked their butt off this week, and we knew that they had a big performance in store for them. So happy for those guys, especially I thought Maryland did a really good job of staying on the field and milking the clock a ton. So, hats off to our defense and how they played, and they had some big plays, big stops, and that strip sack was huge. So that definitely helped us out a ton.
Jack, late in the second quarter, just talking to Coach, you said there was an RPO option. You chose to throw incomplete pass, ended up giving Maryland an opportunity a second drive. What was the conversation like with Coach Lujan and Coach Braun after that play?
You just learn from it. that's just my fourth start. It's just an opportunity where you got to learn. Defense again did an unbelievable job getting a stop and force them to miss a field goal there. But it's just got to keep the clock running. You learn from those.
Bryce, you had 7 less catches than last week, but 123 yards through the air. How did you make the most of just every touch that you had out there tonight?
Just really just catching the ball when it was thrown my way. I felt like, as a receiver coach, Coach Benz, he really emphasizes, make the play, even if it comes your way. Like, make the quarterback right, even if it's not a great ball. I'm not saying Jack threw great balls tonight. But, he just really is a big on making the play when it comes your way. And, I'm just doing what I'm coached, so.
Jack, 2 consecutive games of turnover-free football. What do you think contributed to you being able to hold onto the ball under pressure?
Yeah, I think just us executing at a really high level. Coach Lujan has a ton of trust in me. These game plans are very based on the quarterback making good decisions. And I think it's just, our offensive line doing a great job in pass pro. Our receivers doing a great job getting open. And I think, guys are just spacing out really well where I have a lot of great windows and great opportunities to take care of the ball and make some throws. And I think it's just an emphasis on us at practice every day. Like, when we're doing ball security, like, we mean that, and we take advantage of that. And I think that's a trend. Like, the whole team is interested in taking care of the ball, and I'm excited to keep doing well in that area.
Jack, how big is this for your confidence to get your first career road victory as a starter?
That's awesome. It's awesome team win. Awesome for the confidence. Excited to look at this game, celebrate what we did really, really well, and understand how we can get better and put ourselves in the best situation for next Saturday.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Sweet. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Taking this? Yeah, I'm taking this.
Questions for Carmine? Jake?
Carmine, how difficult were these first 5 weeks watching from the sideline, and just how meaningful was it for you when you stepped on the field and got that strip sack to put your team up 2 scores?
The first 5 weeks was a struggle. Coming off, doing all the camp and stuff, and getting prepared for the week, and then have a little adversity come. Kind of sucks, but after just focusing on myself, just focusing on what's important for the team, just like make sure I'm getting on everybody's hat and stuff. Just find a new job while I was out, and then once I got that opportunity to come back, just give it my all and seize every opportunity. So,
Carmine, what kind of reception did you get on the sideline when you came back over after that play?
Everybody was just juicy, just excited. I was trying to get everybody excited, so I'm glad I got that response. But everybody was just happy to, see me back out there. So, just a good group of guys.
When you think of the journey you've taken from walk-on to earning a scholarship and now being a captain, just how do you put in perspective the path that you've taken here at Northwestern?
I kind of just stick to doing what I'm told and just keep inching every day, just trying to get a little bit better. So whatever that outcome looks like is not really what I'm worried about. Just worried about just doing the same thing every day and expecting to get better.
As a captain and leader, one of the things Coach Braun talked about was that Maryland had a huge advantage in just number of plays that they ran. They ran almost 30 more plays than you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
Being out there for so long, how do you keep the team focused and be able to turn the corner and force so many turnovers down the stretch like you were able to?
I think just continue to communicate and continue to believe in just what we can do and what kind of team we are. Can't really focus on how many plays we're playing, just focus on the play that's at hand. It's just the real importance, and we were kind of just trying to stress that when we were on the sideline. So.
Anything else for Carmine? Jake?
And just how did you see that play develop where you got in for that strip sack?
I just kind of felt the demeanor of the O-lineman, and just kind of felt like it was going to be passed. So I was thinking a lot of guys were working inside moves and was not getting a lot of work, so I just worked inside, outside, and then saw the back of the quarterback, so thought ball. So.
Given how the last couple games have gone, how much do you think this sort of invigorates you guys as you head into the second half of the season?
I think we're going to be fired up, excited. We got to stay poised and, think about, what's next. Got great opportunities ahead of us, so excited for that.
Awesome. Thanks, Carmine.
Thanks, guys.
I found out I was going to be kicking earlier this week. I mean, with anything, it was the first field goal, first time kicking in college. So maybe like a little bit, like an excited nervous. But I was just really excited for the opportunity and thankful for it. I just thankful that Coach Braun and Coach Creighton believed in me to, give me the opportunity to. I'm thankful for God for allowing me to be in this position too. And Hunter and Will did great. The operation was really smooth. It was really easy for me to just kind of jump right into it. I'm just super thankful for it.
And how often were you, before you got this news, how often were you practicing field goal kicking?
I've been practicing field goal kicking the whole year. Yeah, I've been practicing. They wanted me to potentially be doing some long field goals if the situation arises. So I've been ready for it. So I'm just really thankful that I was able to get the opportunity tonight, and just happy that I was able to help out a little bit today.
Coach Braun said he's never seen a performance like what you did tonight, helping out on kickoffs, punts, and kicks. I mean, just what did you sense that was working for you, and how did the confidence grow after you hit that first extra point?
The first extra point was really nice because I was excited. It was my first point scored in college, so that was a really cool moment for me. But I don't know. I kind of just tried to stay present with it. Coach Braun and everybody within the staff really just talks about staying present within the moment and just focusing on what's important now. So that was kind of my main concern. I really didn't kind of take a second to think about anything until honestly the game was over. So I just tried to stay ready if I was needed at any point.
What was your mindset like throughout the week in preparation for this game and stepping up into such a versatile role?
I just wanted to be able to help the team out. That was really it. I was just kind of excited for it. I just was thankful and excited really going into this game. I just really care that my position I feel like is just to try to help out the team in any way that I can. So I was really thankful that I was able to do that. Plus being on the field a lot is fun too. So yeah, it was a really great time.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned like it's busy, right? You're coming out, you're doing a kickoff. Next thing you know, like you got a punt. In terms of in-game preparation, like when you're on the sidelines, how did you kind of manage that? Because I would imagine it's been a long time, if maybe ever, that you've had to think about preparing for all three different facets. Yeah,
I did all three in high school, so I kind of went back to my old mode of process for that. For open field, I'm just only in punt mode really, and then as soon as we cross that 50, I pull out the kicking sticks and started getting ready for that. For kickoffs, I try to get one or two into the net beforehand. Usually, I didn't get the chance to do that tonight because of the extra points, but I feel like kind of going through the motion of hitting that extra point would help out with that. So, yeah, it was just I think that was kind of like the way I did it though. I just tried to utilize my dad really helped me out a lot when I was in high school, kind of figuring out that whole process, because in high school doing all three was pretty busy too. So kind of finding that rhythm and then kind of reverting back to that was pretty helpful. So it felt pretty natural just to kind of go back to it. It had been a couple years since I had the chance to do it, so it was a lot of fun.
Are you feeling it a little bit more than normal right now in your legs after a much busier night?
Yeah. I'll be hitting the cold tubs tomorrow for sure. It was, but no, I mean, I'm just thankful really. I honestly didn't feel sore until after the game. I was like, whoa, that was a good amount. But yeah, I'm just a busy night is a good night though. So going out and hitting a lot of kickoffs means we're scoring. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And I talked to Lausch earlier in the year. I was like, hey man, I went up to him after the game. I was like, yo, my leg's pretty sore. That's a good thing, dude. Like we did pretty well today. So yeah.
Last one, Matt.
You mentioned that you were considered as a long field goal specialist. Do you have a ballpark of what your range is on a night like tonight?
It kind of just depends. It's more about kind of gauging wind and then what Coach Braun and Coach Creighton and everybody are kind of thinking would be the best opportunity for it. But I don't know if I have like a yardage that I'm really thinking of. But I just want to be able to hopefully go out and wherever they need me, I can hopefully help out. So, yeah.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Luke.